Hello everyone, I'm Görkem and today I will be talking about how to say no. So in the past I was really anxious about uh, talking to people in general and getting into communication conversations with people. So when things weren't going smoothly and I had to argue with someone, I would usually lose to them in the argument because not because they were right, like sometimes obviously they were right, but sometimes even though I was the one who was right, they would just win because they were able to argue better, which was uh, the younger me really hated that and didn't understand why that happened. And because the most infuriating thing to me was being right and not being able to say that, like not being able to show that you are right or like make others accept that you are right, which is like I don't know. You probably have been in that situation because it's quite common in arguments where just because they talk more or they are louder and they are like they say more stuff and they have better communication skills or such, or like yeah, you just can't get your point across. And my journey with that was, at first I used to like do nothing obviously, and when I got sick of it I actually started to really lash out at the person, sometimes by shouting at them or even like fighting them, like punching them. And that obviously is not good because uh, usually in school people don't get in trouble for verbal stuff, like most of the verbal stuff. But if you punch someone in the face, you are probably going to get punished. And that's something that I had to learn the hard way because all that time I tried to ignore or like tried my best to stay in my lane and like just not get into arguments. And when I got into problematic arguments, I just tried to back out. So when I tried standing up for myself, I didn't know how it was supposed to be. So I got into fights and such. It wasn't great. It was actually pretty horrible. So later on, uh, even today, like even till today, there have been many cases where I failed to resolve arguments or conflicts between me, my friends, and people I talk with, which is something that is extremely important because well, everything goes through communication first. And in the upcoming, I have a bit of an intro interview or intro meeting for intern position program. I'm preparing for that, and when I reached out to the interviewer on LinkedIn, it's a site for like it's social media for business basically, and I didn't really get, I couldn't really say what I wanted to say because of the same reasons, and it didn't. It ended up not being great, but at least I didn't lose anything off of it. I actually gained a bit of valuable info as well, so I'm not that mad about it. But uh, the point the point is, uh, when talking in general, you need to mm, stay calm. That's the most important thing. And I know it's really hard when someone is shouting at you or like someone is mocking you because that is their intention. They are trying to make you mad. Uh, when you understand that, and uh, I'm not saying to ignore because if you ignore people like that, they're just gonna keep on doing it. So you well, this is the way I did it. I'm not recommending you to do this, but I became really annoying to those people. So whenever they did something, I reflected it back at them. So if they mocked me, I would mock them back as hard as I could. And I tried to avoid physical contact as much as possible. And because, well, that's, I have a bad history with getting into fights. So I didn't want to like make it worse. And well, this works to an extent, but it only escalates the problem, because if you're bad, if they are bad and you are bad as well, you're bad to them, then like it's not going to resolve a problem. And sometimes that is okay, because sometimes people don't want the problems to be resolved. They just want to make fun of you, so maybe they feel better or such. Anything, it can be anything, but it's not just that. Wait, I'm getting really off topic here, but it's mm, yeah, it's staying calm, just not matching their aggressiveness, and just calling them out on what they are doing repeatedly if needed, because some people just don't get it into their brains the first time you say it. That's just how it goes. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If I get better at communicating with people like that, or like intimidating people, I'm not saying the interview was like that. That was just a fragment. I'm not really good at uh, like putting the parts together, because this isn't scripted or pre-planned, or I didn't write any notes for this. But yeah, that was just what was on my mind. Thank you for listening to me, and I'll see you very soon. Bye bye.